Hi, thank you, and welcome for coming today. I am Bill Tohtz. I am the Chief Architect at Sayers. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Chris Roben from HP. Chris, welcome.
Good to see you.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about converged infrastructure and HP's view. So Chris, before we get started, tell us a little bit about you and who you are at HP.
Thank you, Bill. My name is Chris Roben once again, and I am the Americas Director of our Interoperability Labs at HP.
Very good. Chris, we're going to start real simple with this. Tell us a little bit about what HP's definition of converged infrastructure is and maybe a little history as to where we're at today and how.
Absolutely. So I think the definition of convergence is something that's going to continue to evolve. If we look at HP's entrance to what convergence was, I think it started back in 2006 when we introduced blade technology to the market. We had introduced the opportunity for customers to share power, share cooling, share I/O module upon a converged chassis that enabled them to share those resources.
Okay.
As we look historically, some other things that have changed along the way was companies such as VMware, Microsoft, KVM have hit the street and they've introduced OS convergence. So taking an instance of the application, an instance of the operating system, packaging it up on a single file and running multiple instances across a single server. We fast forward again, and other companies such as network providers enter the marketplace with their idea of convergence, which is putting a multiplexer behind a fiber channel ASIC and an IP ASIC. So we converge a single wire instead of having two separate wires. And at that point, that's really where we have to start asking the question, does the value of the data exceed the cost of the connection? Because when you converge upon convergence, you're introducing a lot of complication to people and process that's going to have to mitigate through what should be simple infrastructure today.
Okay. When we take a look at it, one of the questions that our customers always ask us, because we took them through the hardware convergence in blade chassis. We then took them by far through the VMware convergence, and that was a great road for all of us as it changed the industry completely.
Yes, it did.
Now we're at the place where we're converging the connectivity in both fabric and networking side, and now we've got people, process, and automation. So we've jumbled all of these parts and pieces together to really get where we are today. So the question that my customers are going to ask me is, why is this important for me and for my business?
Convergence in one of its various variables is important to every customer. It's working with an organization with the ability that Sayers, like Sayers, and what you guys deliver to your customers, where you can actually triage and be prescriptive about what version of convergence is going to make your customer most successful. The customers that are converging upon converging are, I would argue, are not delivering more dynamic response to line of business. I would add that they're introducing complication because most manufacturers are going to do everything they can to try to get as much as they can to that customer. But when we work with Sayers and we engage Sayers inside that customer market, Sayers has the ability to peel back the onion and help the customer understand that maybe in one case just having a rack mount server using converged networking into an HP networking switch is going to be enough convergence because the customer's already leveraging VMware. They're spending $11,000 per processor on licensing. They want to be able to get a high P to V ratio. And in order to do that, they have to put an exorbitant amount of VMs, and that introduces a lot of risk on a platform. So putting that into a blade form factor versus a rack form factor has a different business effect, yet you're still addressing two of the three versions of convergence that are available. Is it worth doing 3 for 3, right? And those are the things that Sayers has successfully done in the past with our HP customers and kept those customers successful.
One of the things that we constantly take a look at around here is as the marketplace continues to evolve and trends like big data and cloud and all of those things begin to kind of fold into not necessarily even popular media, but into where the business is really going to take advantage of them. We have to continue to struggle through that process. And so it's the hardware, it's the software, it's the people, it's that entire process. Because if we build that process correctly, Chris, we've seen where people can have a very resilient infrastructure where we can transform it as business needs and times change.
Agreed.
So I know that you have a pending announcement coming later this month. We're very excited about some new things that HP is bringing to bear. So guys, I'd like to invite everybody to please join us on October 8th for our Bright Talk channel webinar where Chris will be speaking once again, and we'll be able to go into a lot more detail on the entire process. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.